Sup, my beautiful people, it's your boy and it's Cashcow. This is my first ever YouTube episode. Please like and subscribe and enjoy this video. Let's kill it. Let's just focus on the car review on BMW i8. It's long overdue. Not forgetting the beauty of it. So we're gonna go through the interior, the fuel consumption on BMW i8, along with the interior and also the sound check. And stay tuned, let's go. All right, so I want us to just focus on the beauty of i8. That is to just check the exterior of this car. So we're just gonna take a young 360 just to show you guys how this beauty is looking like. My favorite part also is at the back. The beauty from this angle, man. Just show them from this angle. So beautiful. So the other thing that confuses a lot, especially if I go to the garage, it is the fuel tanks. We've got two of those. No? So just come closer. So this one here on the passenger side, so this is where we charge. So this is the electric side of things. Like I said, it confuses a lot because some people, they open here thinking that's where the tank is. Then when you come along the side, that's where you get, you know, okay, I'll have to try and open this, but this is for fuel. So we've got two. And also, I do have two chargers. So if you can just come this side. So this one, it is when I'm by the malls. So the blue cable is when I'm by the mall. So then I use this to charge this car. And like I said, sometimes it can take about I think 30 to 1 hour for this to be full. Then I've got this one that I used to charge at home. So this one, it takes longer to charge with this one. I think it's mainly because of these ports also. These are plugs for, you know, charging your phones and all of that. So it takes quite long to charge on that one. So yeah, that's where we charge the i8 on the passenger side, and this is where we fuel the tank.
So how does it affect your electric bill? You know, charging a car and charging a phone, I'm sure it's not the same.
Okay, to be honest with you, I haven't, paid attention to the bill, but I feel like it's not bad. I haven't seen any, dramatic changes on my bill. So I think it's pretty much reasonable to also charge on the house. But also the other feature about this car that I like the most is you don't just charge over the mall and also at your space. You can actually charge it while driving it. So if you initiate the sport mode, it charges itself. So which means if I'm driving, let's say, moving from Joburg to Pretoria, I can actually get full capacity of the battery within, I think, less than 20 minutes. But if I charge it using that charger, it takes about close to 2 to 3 hours.
And also, Mr. Cash, I can see that the space on your boot, it's really small. So usually, what do you do when you have a lot of luggage? Let's say maybe you are traveling to Durban, how do you handle luggage?
That's a funny one, my brother, to be honest with you. The space is too little, to be honest with you. You can't even fit, a case here. But what I do most of the time, if I'm traveling, going to Durban, Cape Town, I need to travel at least with one passenger. Then I'm gonna fit my luggage just here. So this space is more than enough to, I can put one bag here. So if we are two, then I can be able to fit two bags here. So it's not user friendly when it comes to long distance. Yeah. So you can't take your whole luggage, man, with this car. If you just need to just pack a small bag, because here you can't fit anything, to be honest. You can only fit your shoes, then maybe a bag at the back. It's too little, to be honest with you. All right, so the question that I normally get more frequently is, where is the engine in this car? Some people, they know that the engine is always at front, but remember this car is a hybrid. So it simply means it uses electricity and also the engine. So the engine is at the back. Let me just give you a quick review of the engine on this car. Okay, so just try to come closer. You guys won't be able to see it, but the engine is here. So if I were to, open it up, the engine is just here. And we'll get to the engine capacity. But for now, I wanted you guys to just look at the beauty of BMW i8. Not forgetting what I like more about this car. It is this carbon fiber here. This carbon fiber, that's it. It's too dope. Can you just show them the carbon fiber on this car? So you've got the carbon fiber from the whole roof is filled with carbon fiber. And also on the door, you've got your carbon fiber. Also here, the carbon fiber. It's filled up with carbon fiber. Not forgetting the butterfly doors. So the other part that I want to show you guys, it is the hidden bonnet. So this car has two levers. When you open the trunk, you open on the driver's side and also on the passenger side. Let me open it up for you guys. All right. Arbon. All right, so let's open the bonnet. Let's open the bonnet. Okay, so like I said, there's two levers, so you open this one and also on that other side. But there is nothing much this side. Okay, I think, yeah. There's nothing much this side. You've got your fan. This is where also we refill water. Your coolant is this side. You've got your battery to power up the engine. That's why a lot of people don't open the trunk, because there's nothing here. But yeah, that's the beauty. That's the exterior of BMW i8. We'll go to the interior just now. Okay, let's go through the interior of this car. All right, so here is the interior of the BMW i8. The feature that I like more about this car, it is the bucket seats and also the blue seat belt. Though this car is two-door, but it has some small seats for kids at the back. So if you've got a family of 4, you can fit your little ones. And also the sound system on this car is too powerful. It's too powerful. We've got eminent cardoon. That's the other feature that I like about this car. So if you're traveling, the sound system is always on point. And the other thing is that this car is so spacious. You might think it's a two-door, but it is spacious. From the passenger side, there's too much space there. Funny enough, people think BMW i8 doesn't have sound. There is no exhaust sound. But I can tell you, I didn't do much on this car. It's still, stock exhaust, but there is sound. So people think this car is fully electric, but it's not. So I think it's about time we do sound check. Let's go. All right. Let's start this baby. So this is what we call a cold start on BMW i8. So yeah, this is the cold start, guys, for BMW i8. But I'm gonna give it some rev just so you guys can feel the sound on this car. Let's give it a rev. Sounds pretty nice. Not bad for electric car. It's actually not bad, guys. The sound is not bad. The sound is there. It's not bad. It's not bad. And the fan is on now because it was too hot this side, so it needs to cool down. But yeah, that's it about the sound check of BMW i8. Okay, so I think let's take it for a spin. So hoop in, my brother, hoop in. Let's take it for a spin. I want to take you through how some of these buttons works here. I know some I haven't used them, but this is where you start the car. So you've got the start, stop here. Then you've got this feature here. I'm not so sure if you guys can see it. We've got this feature here. It's called e-drive. So e-drive, most of the time I use this when I want to go fully electric. So if I'm driving and I press this, the car switches back to electric. So fully electric simply means I can save fuel. It won't be initiating engine unless if I decide to go fast. The other question that normally comes with the fully electric, it is the range that I get from this car. So this car goes for it gives me a range of 120 kilometer per hour. So which means the maximum speed that I will use when I'm driving with the electric, it's 120. And distance covered on this car, fully charged, it gives you about like 35 to 40 kilometers. So it simply means can drive from Joburg to Pretoria fully electric. So I just want to take you through a short spin on the BMW i8. So we're gonna, use the feature for electric and the engine. Let's hoop in for a spin. Take you for a smaller ride. Like I said, this is how you start the car. So right now I'm gonna use the electric. Let's go. The nicest part about this car also, guys, it is the comfort. This car, it has comfort. You can do long distance with the BMW i8. I know other supercars you can't. It's tiring, but with this one, I've been to Durban with it. We've taken it to East London. That was like, I think, 10 to 12 hours drive. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But the other question also, it is how do I maintain this car? So when we get to the maintenance part, it all depends on how you drive your car. So if you had to drive i8 every day, you'll spend a lot. But let's say you normally use it over the weekends. I still don't believe when people say this car is for weekend vibes. I can still drive i8 day to day. Fuel consumption is not bad. I think full tank is about what, $600 to $800 for a full tank, of which is not bad. And I think the range on this car, when it's full, it's giving you about like 600 Ks. So it simply means I can go to Durban with one full tank on this car. Mind you, remember I can switch in between electric and the motor. So currently I'm on e-drive. So you can see it's super quiet, so which means it is using electricity at this current moment. If I want to initiate the engine, either I switch this off, then I can take it to sport mode. It kicks in the engine. Like now it's the engine that is running. Okay. So back to maintaining this car. It's quite not bad to maintain i8, but like I said, if you drive it every day, that's where you'll spend a lot. So for myself, I can drive it 2 to 3 days weekly. So it simply means in terms of fuel, I'll spend about like 1,000 just to go, just to push my meetings, go around Joburg, Pretoria. I don't normally like drive long distance for now, so it's always local. So you can spend about like 1.5 to 2,000 if you're driving day to day.
And also, I saw you recently changed your windscreen. How much did that cost?
Yes, my brother. The windscreen was so expensive. I think also i8, as much as it's reasonable, but when it comes to parts, it's always like it's forever expensive. I think on the windscreen I spent about 20K just to change the windscreen. Talking about tires, your brake pads. The rear brake pads last time I think it was costing about 8,000 for both. When we get to the front ones, they go as much as 16 to 18,000 to change brake pads. And like I said, if you drive it every day, your brake pads may last about 4 to 5 months, because this car is fast, guys. I'm not gonna lie. So if you are someone who's always speeding, you will need to change brake pads time to time. The tires, I think one tire on this car is about like 6 to 7,000. I've changed tires, I think, twice. Like I said, I don't drive it every day. But yeah, for tires, I've changed it twice. Brake pads twice also. What else? Okay, windscreen, guys. I've been changing windscreen every 3 months. I don't know what's happening with me. But the other thing that I've noticed with this car is it is too low. So it simply means if you're going fast and there are trucks on the way, you are going to change windscreen because it's so fast and it's lowered.
So now I saw the sound is also Harman and Kardon. Is this the best sound amongst all your cars?
I would say, okay, so I had this feature on the BMW X6, it's pretty good. The sound in this car is too dope, I'm not gonna lie. I think it has like one subwoofer, and there's this one and that one, but the sound quality, I think also here, it also has the speaker. The sound quality in this car, you might even forget that this is a supercar. Remember, supercars are not meant to have these features, but in this car you get, such quality. Hence I'm saying for long distance you can still take i8 for a spin. So the sound is too dope, man. So the next feature also that I like about BMW i8, it is that we've got eco in this car. So it simply means you can save fuel. And I think fuel consumption on this car, it's 6 liter per 100 k's. So it's not bad. But if you're driving with sport mode, it might chow a little bit more. It might be around about 8 liter to like 9 liter per 100 k's. So the other feature that I like about this car, it is the cluster. So you see, like now, let's just get to eDrive. So like I said, if I'm driving with eDrive, the cluster, it's gonna be blue. But the feature that I like, it is when now I initiate the sport mode, the cluster changes to red. This is to show that now we are about to be going faster than usual. So the cluster changes to red, and it also has pedal shift. So I've got the plus minus, so which means I can initiate manual on this car. And the sound, like I said, it's not bad. And also what I like about, driving i8, it's so catchy, guys. I'm not gonna lie. You will enjoy driving with this car because all eyes on you. I mean, it's i8 after all. You don't get to see these cars on the road. So yeah, that's the other feature that I like about the BMW i8.
So when you go to your meetings, which car would you say you enjoy driving the most?
Okay, so I think it also depends with where I'm going. So if it's a business meeting, if I'm meeting, top dogs, I would rather take out i8 for a spin. If I know it's meeting just a client, the other car that I normally like to use is Mustang. Like I said, it depends where I'm going. But for business closing deals, it has to be i8, man. So one thing that I've noticed with the comfort that you get from BMW i8, it's not far from the Golf 8, The Golf 8's comfort also, it's quite good. I've done long distance on it. It's quite good. Comparing i8 and Golf 8 in terms of the comfort, they go in hand. But with Mustang, that's American. So comfort is there, but it's too limited, man. You can travel to Cape Town with Mustang, you get there so tired because, the pipe is too loud. But if you're driving this, you get that luxurious out of Golf 8 and i8.
Would you say the sound on the i8 for music, it's better than the Golf 8?
To be honest, it is better than Golf 8. Like I said, the sound system that is here It's Herman and Cartoon. So you're expecting quality coming from BMW i8. So I'll choose i8 over Golf 8 in terms of sound system. All right. You know the other feature that I like about this car that I don't tell people, it is less costly. I don't know, people think owning this car will be, you know, an arm and a leg, but it's not. If we are looking at what I spend on this car monthly, it's pretty less.
Cash, another common question, you know, is how are you maintaining this whole lifestyle? Did you buy all these cars cash, or are you paying monthly installments, or you know, how do you do this thing, you know?
Okay. Thanks for raising that question, my brother. I think is the most important question of this video, and also I think it's gonna motivate, you know, other people that wishes to own this assets in future. I'm gonna break it down for you, my brother, just so you just see how much I spend, you know, monthly on this car. So before I start with i8, I think let's talk about the other cars that I have. So you guys know that I've got, I recently bought the Golf 8, you know, for family use. I've got the 335 E92, got the Mustang. You know, I keep on forgetting my cars, man, because hey, I've got a huge list. Also mentioning the BMW M4, the Golf R, X6M. So I'm just gonna sum up, you know, all of these cars. So let's just start with the Mustang, for example. So Mustang, it's a car that that I love, to be honest. So it also goes with which car do I wanna keep, which car do I wanna let go. So if I'm comparing this BMW i8 and the Mustang, I would say Mustang, it's been a dream car. So it's a car that I wanted to keep. So I decided to buy Mustang cash. But when we talk about the BMW i8, this it's a 2016, 2017 model. I would have wanted to keep this, but I decided, you know what, I still want other supercars. And for me to get more, I need to let go of some. So this in future, I might decide to, let go of it and get a better supercar. Talking about McLaren, it's on the line. But when we're looking at monthly expenses on the BMW i8, first thing first, not to forget insurance. I've got insurance on this car. Okay, all of my cars I do have insurance, but the ones that has what you call down pipes. If you own a car, you should know that once you touches your exhaust system, then the insurance most of the time they will tell you they're gonna pull off from the deal because they know you're gonna be a high risk. You're gonna be indulging in raising, so it's kind of risky for you to get insurance that can say, let's insure this car. Whether this guy is gonna be driving fast will pay out at the end. So on this car, preferably talking about i8, I'm paying about like 30,000. That's a monthly installment. So it's like 31, 32,000, excluding insurance, my brother. So you can imagine keeping this car, it's costly. When we get to the insurance, only insurance, I think I'm paying about, it fluctuates because I think when I got this car, I think it was 2022. So I've been owning this car for what now? I think 4 years 4 to 5 years, yeah. And I've been paying insurance up to date from the time I bought this car. Insurance wise, I think I'm paying about 16 to 15,000 monthly. So if you add the 30K and the 16, that's only on monthly expenses that are spent on this car. I haven't included, changing brake pads. I haven't included changing tires. Those minor things that you come across when you drive a car. Not also the fuel. I didn't include fuel. So that is only monthly expenses on the i8. monthly installment, and also the insurance. So pretty much close to like 50 to 55K that I spend on this car monthly.
That's a lot, my brother.
It is, my
Because
brother.
after 2 months, you could have bought one of these Golf 7s or
Exactly. To be honest with you, if you say for like what, let's say for like 3 to 4 months, you can even get a Polo, man. Polo, they go for like 200K. Can easily get a Polo. But I chose class over, owning a Polo.
So, when it comes to taking this car on installment, would you say you were doing that to help with your credit? People always say when you take things on cash, it doesn't help with your credit scores and all of that. Or is it simply because you are not planning to keep this car forever?
Okay, so to be honest with you, my brother, okay, at that time I was still young, so also the credit score was part of the plan. I took this asset it was so expensive to a point whereby I knew that 3 to 6 months my credit score will be boosted. I mean, like I'm paying 30,000 monthly, it should rocket your credit score. But the other thing was I wanted to have a feeling of what a supercar feels like. To be honest with you, 4 years ago, I couldn't afford to buy my dream supercar, and that is McLaren. So then I was like, okay, so where can I get those suicidal doors? Then i8 was on the way. Then I was like, you know what? Let me rather opt for i8 for now. Then I'm gonna come back for McLaren. And it is coming soon, my brother, I can tell you. Can even feel it in my bone that sooner or later I'm gonna unleash the beast.
Yes,
That is the McLaren. And I need the 750 LT, not the small ones.
yes, sir. So, another thing, my brother, I also wanted to ask, with all these cars, you have so many cars, how do you handle storage of all these cars, because sometimes we see that when you are here, you have these cars, but we sometimes see you at your other house with, different cars. So, can you just explain how do you handle storage?
All right. You see, that's the biggest problem that I have, day to day. If you're my friend, my friends they know that sometimes I'll give them a call and be like, hey, my brother, do you have parking for one day? I wanna, put on my car there. I think also, since I've got two houses, so I'm able to choose or see if I want to use i8, for example, and the Mustang. I'd rather have them at the space that I'm at. Then I can just take the other ones, then I put them on my other house. And I also do, rentals on the other houses that I have. So for me, it's always a challenge, to be honest with you, because you can also see here, I only have, um, garage door here can only fit two cars, then which means the rest will have to be outside. So it's always a challenge, to be honest with you, but I do have other cars that I put on my other house. So if I'm sleeping in Pretoria, then I know, okay, I'm gonna take the i8 and the Mustang with, then leave the rest. So storage, my brother, it's a problem now. I think it's about time, I unleash a mansion, because if I get to that point of buying the McLaren, then which means I'll definitely have to go for a mansion, just so I can fit all my cars, because most of my cars I'm gonna keep them. It's not like I'm having these cars, I'm gonna sell some of them. These are collections, so I'm still gonna keep them. So I think I might, decide to um, get a mansion. Yeah.
So, would you say forex trading is enough to help you maintain, all these cars, or would you need another stream of income, or like a stable salary or something? How do you advise when it comes to handling the maintenance and payment of the i8?
That's a very good question, my brother. I think I've been getting that quite some time. Most people they've been wanting to know whether am I only pushing trading or I've got other streams of income. But to be honest with you, when I started trading, it was only trading, and I started buying my first car with only trading. So I was able to, maintain my BMW M4, my X6, my Golf R only with trading. But if we are looking at i8, to be honest with you, the day I decided to buy i8, already I had other streams of income. So I ventured into property. You know, I've got student accommodation. I've got 2 currently. I'm also on agriculture. You know, I'm doing chicken for meat. I do also have a restaurant. So I'm doing a lot, to be honest. But if you are trading only, and if you're an upcoming trader, you can maintain these babies with only Forex. But you know the problem with people currently, with youngsters, people who are venturing into trading, they just wanna, you know, make a million every day. So it's not possible, because if you are aiming to make a million every day, simply means you can lose that in a day. So for you to maintain this, it will be a train smash. But if you trade with consistency, if you trade with a plan, you can be you can reach stability. You can maintain this babies with trading only. If you know how much you're targeting in a day, for example, let's say you trade 10K's account, and your target for a day is about like 2 to 3,000. Not risky much. You can be able to maintain this. But some people, they just wanna, you know, move your 10K account to like 100K. Though it's possible, but it simply means you are risking high. So you might not, you know, reach the installment month end. You might blow all of your accounts, and now you've got installments coming up, or you gotta pay rent. You know, all of those monthly expenses. If you go high risk, you might not be able to maintain this. Word of advice is, if you want to maintain, you know, more than 2 to 3 cars, and also, you know, rental, if you haven't purchased a home, it simply means that you need to have a plan with the trading journey. You must know how much you're losing in a day. You must know how much you're targeting in a day. What's your weekly returns? What's your monthly returns? It will make it much easier for you to be able to know how much am I getting from trading. Then say you are able to generate about 50 to 100K, and you need to pay i8 30 grand, for example, and you've got rental of about 15 to 20K. So which means you might be spending roughly 50,000 monthly. So if you're making more than 100 to 150, I would say it's reasonable. You can maintain this. But like I said, you need to have stability. You need to be able to see progress. You need to risk low in order for you to be able to maintain this. You can't always want to risk all your capital, because I can tell you, the bills are gonna keep on increasing. Okay, my brother, in conclusion to your question, I'd say if you have Phantom X, hi, my brother, this will be easy peasy for you. Like, to be honest, I'm maintaining my cars with my robot. And it's been what now, 3 years I've been doing that. Like I said, the other businesses are pushing itself. But in terms of trading, trading maintains my cars, maintains my, you know, my monthly expenses. And I'm using the Phantom X to do that. And it's been 3 years of consistency. So if you want to try and have this in future, I think it's about time you get yourself a copy of Phantom X. Sure, gents, and that's the end of our first ever YouTube channel. I hope you guys liked it. And also, guys, we do have that comment section. You can suggest anything that you want us to go through next time on our next episode, on our next video. So just use that comment section, and do not forget to like and subscribe. It's your boy, it's Cashcow, and I'm out. Yes.